plenty of opportunities to score. After the first few overs, it should play evenly throughout the match. A tough call, perhaps a good toss to lose. Well, that's the state of the pitch. Back to you, Richie.
Stopped by Nevin. Safely taken by Nevin.
That early breakthrough will really get the bowlers' tails up.
Trescothick makes his way back to the dressing room.
Well, he certainly wasn't out in the middle for very long.
The next man in is Hussain. Cairns has picked up the first wicket of the match. Got hold of that one, 4 runs. It's the first boundary for Hussain. One now for 6. That's the first runs of the day for Knight. England are 1 for 10. Cairns to Knight. Hit straight at Fleming. .49 overs are left in the innings. So they need 226 to win from 300 balls. Batsmen are up 2. Go off the ball to Nevin. That's the first run of the day for Nevin. Astle is off the mark. Fielded by Nevin, waiting at the strike end. Knight is not going to reach that. It's the first boundary for it.
New Zealand can't have hoped for a better start. The target's looking very reachable at this rate.
Carrick to begin a new spell. Now the run rate stands at just over 4 and over. Batsmen are after 2. The total is now no wicket for 13. Carrick to bowl to Nevin. Nevin is now on strike.
Fine go at the Yorker. Took the batsman slightly by surprise with that one.
That's gone high in the air. That's the first boundary for Nevin. Excellent bowling by Carrick. New Zealand have taken their total on to no wicket for 18. Carrick to Nevin. Oh, that's a really superb shot. Super shot by Nevin.
He really needs to concentrate on line and length right now to keep the runs down. England can't afford to give away that many runs.
Gough to Astle. The required run rate is around 4 and over. It's straight at Thorpe. New Zealand are no wicket for 22. That's speeding to the boundary. Looks in good form out there.
Great shot. That seemed to rocket to the boundary.
200 runs required. Gough continues. Astle moves into double figures with those runs. That's too short, and it's been dispatched for 4. That takes him into double figures. 195 runs required. Gough to Nevin. 47 overs are left for New Zealand.
The batsmen are off to a flying start. If they keep this up, then the target will be no problem at all.
Carrick to begin a new over. The run rate stands at just under 4 and over. Great shot by Astle. Played that with superb timing.
The bowlers really need to keep it tight at this stage of the match.
Carrick at the start of his run-up. That's a big hit. It's 6. Carrick won't like that at all.
The bowler won't like that one little bit.
It's straight at Flintoff. .46 overs are left for New Zealand. Gough to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 4 and over. A long hop and punish. That square drive was hit with some power.
Cracking shot. He's in great form.
That's superb bowling from Gough. That's gone high in the air. Nevin has now moved into the 20s. That's racing away.
Cracking shot. The secret there is that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
That brings up the 50 for New Zealand. Gough is back in the attack. .172 run by Astle facing. Astle has now moved in 20s. That's the end of the 5th over. Carrick to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 3.5 and over. Carrick to Astle. He's smacked that over the top and been rewarded before. He's turned the ball perfectly today.
Cracking shot. The secret there is that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
New Zealand, no wicket for 59. Stopped by Flintoff. It's a mix-up with the batsman. It looks like that being called on this one. He's not a good judge of a run, is he? It's high in the air. He made a lot of ground to take that catch.
He kept his concentration really well. He had a long time to think about that before it came down.
Nevin is making his way back to the pavilion.
He didn't seem to have any problems once he got his eye in, so he'll be disappointed to get out now.
The next man in is Vincent. Carrick takes the first wicket of the innings. The new batsman comes in at the non-striker's end. The required run rate is around 3.5 and over. The score is now 1 for 60. Astle waiting at the striker's end. Oh, what a catch, Flintoff.
That was a really good effort by the fielder. He did well to cling on to it.
Astle is making his way back to the pavilion.
That's poor batting. He lost his concentration and paid for it with his wicket.
Fleming is the new batsman for New Zealand. Gough gets his first wicket. New Zealand 2 down now for 60. Gough at the start of his run-up. Confident appeal. The umpire raised his finger and he's out. Fleming makes his way back to the dressing room.
Well, he hasn't troubled the scorers with that innings.
Cairns is the next batsman in. Gough gets his second wicket. New Zealand 3 down now for 61. A very good over. Only one off it in the end. We're about to see the first bowling change. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. That's the first runs of the day for Vincent. They have 43 overs to get, 164. That's run away for 4. That's the first boundary for Cairns. 160 runs required. Cairns facing. It's straight at night. Nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. Fielded down at fine leg by Hussain. There's a mix-up with the batsman. The total is now 3 for 67. He's not a good judge of a run, is he? The batsman will have to run these. Now the run rate stands at just over 3.5 and over. They have 42 overs to get 158. Vincent facing. Short and smash for 4. That's the first boundary for Vincent. 154 runs required. Oh, that's a really superb shot. That takes him into double figures. Looked as if he was home to me. Gough to bowl to Cairns. Stopped by Thorpe. 9 runs came from that over. Giles to begin a new over. Now the run rate stands at just over 3.5 and over. It's straight at Triscothic. He's got it into the gap. Cairns waiting at the striker's end. That's the end of the 10th over. Gough to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Thorpe reaches it before it crosses the boundary. Gough to Vincent. Smashed that away. That square drive was hit with some power.
He played that with a lovely straight bat. He'll be pleased.
The score is now 3 for 84. Hit straight to a fielder. That was an athletic stop by the keeper. The run rate stands at just under 3.5 and over. They have 39 overs to get 142. It's in the air. Giles only overpitched very slightly, but it was punished.
Fantastic shot there. He knew it was 4 as soon as he struck it.
So they need 138 to win from 231 balls. That's a great shot. Cairns moves into double figures with those runs. 134 runs required. That's cut behind square. That over cost 10 runs. Gough to begin a new over. The run rate stands at just under 3 and over. Great shot by Vincent. Vincent has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. The score is now 3 for 98. It's high in the air. This batsman won't miss anything that's short.
Lovely shot. It raced away to the fence for 4.
Got him! Gough has struck for England.
He played completely down the wrong line and it made a mess of the stumps.
Vincent makes his way back to the dressing room.
He looked in good form out there. He'll be disappointed that he didn't get a bigger score.
The next batsman in is a right-handed Macmillan. That's the 3rd wicket now for Gough. New Zealand are 4 down now for 102. Stopped by Priscothic. Seven overs are left for New Zealand. Giles to begin a new over. The run rate stands at just under 3 and over. Gough to begin a new over. The required run rate has crept up to around 3 and over. Stopped by Caddick. That's the first runs of the day for Macmillan. The batsmen are after 2. Great job done by the fielder in the deep. Cairns is now on strike. That's 4 runs. That went like a rocket to the fence.
That was a great shot to watch. He just leant into it and stroked it to the boundary for 4.
Giles to begin a new over. The run rate stands at just under 3 and over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Stopped by Hussain. Cairns is now facing. It's in the air. Cairns has now moved into the 20s. The score is now 4 for 1-1-2. Giles continues. Giles continues. The batsmen are looking for 2. There's a mix-up with the batsman. He's not a good judge of a run, is he? McMillan is now facing. No! 34 overs are left for New Zealand. Gough to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 3 and over. No! Stopped by Thorpe. Gough continues. Gough continues.
The umpires are pretty strict on wide deliveries in one-day cricket, so you need to keep the ball pretty straight.
It's in the air. That's the first boundary for McMillan. New Zealand have taken their total on to 4 for 119. It's high in the air. That was still going up as it cleared the rope.
The bowler won't like that one little bit.
33 overs are left for New Zealand. McMillan facing. The run rate stands at just under 3 and over. Giles to bowl to McMillan. Tucked off his legs. Batsmen are coming back for 2. Cairns facing. That's gone high in the air.
He hardly seemed to hit it, but it's gone for 6.
It's high in the air. Super shot by Cairns.
That's not the right line to bowl to this batsman. He'll punish anything there.
That's 11 off the over now. This over is proving to be quite expensive. The batsman will have to run these. Twelve runs came from that over. We're about to see a change in the bowling. The run rate stands at just under 2.5 and over. Four all the way. That was a superb placement.
He played that shot to perfection.
The score is now 4 for 142. Cairns waiting at the striker's end. It's in the air. Well, he's seeing it like a sweet ball now.
What a ripper! The crowd enjoyed that one.
Paddock, the ball to Cairns. Run came that over. Giles to begin a new over. Now the run rate stands at just over and over. Didn't quite get hold of that one properly. Giles to Cairns. Cut away. Now he needs to get his head down again and aim for the next landmark. Well, there's his half century.
He's done very well out there, but it's important for the team that he keeps going.
Now 4 and 50. That's the end of the 20th over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 2.5 and over. Comfortably taken, no worries.
A slight fumble, but safely taken in the end.
Cairns eventually goes for 50. That was a useful innings by Cairns.
He did well out there and didn't let the bowlers get the upper hand at any stage.
Adams comes in at number 7. Carrick gets his second wicket. New Zealand are 5 down now for 150. New Zealand have taken their total on to 5 for 151. .75 runs required. Adams is now on strike. It's straight at Thorpe. Carrick to bowl to Adams. .29 overs are left for New Zealand. Giles to begin a new over. The required run rate is looking more and more out of reach here.
Wait.
It's straight at Flintoff. That's straight up in the air. Macmillan moves into double figures with those runs. Carrick to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 2.5 and over. They have 28 overs to get 71. Carrick at the start of his run-up. That's the first runs of the day for Adams, fielded by Prescothic. New Zealand are 5 for 157. I think he was easily back in the crease there. New Zealand move on to 158. It's straight at Prescothic. Carrick to bowl to Adams. Pushed into the gap. Batsmen are coming back for 2. Five for 160. Carrick at the start of his run-up. Short and smash for 4. That's the first boundary for Adams. 27 overs are left in the innings. Giles to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 2 and over. They have 27 overs to get 62. There it goes. Five. Now for 165. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Play it away with comfort. Stopped by Triscothic. The score is now 5 for 167. Adams waiting at the striker's end. Carrick to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 2 and over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Vaughan out at long on. They have 26 overs to get 58. Oh, that's a really superb shot. That takes him into double figures. So they need 54 to win from 153 balls. Oh, that's gone a long way. He smashed that a long way.
What an effortless shot. Brilliant.
New Zealand move on to 178. Carrick is beginning to lose his line and length. That's the halfway mark, 25 overs. England are making a change in the bowling. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1.5 and over. So they need 47 to win from 148 balls. Gough at the start of his run-up. That's too short. 4 runs. Adams has now moved into the 20s. 185. Now for 183.
Four runs.
Super shot by Adams.
There's a perfect example of how to play that shot. He deserved 4 runs for it.
Gough is proving to be a little expensive. Gough at the start of his run-up. That over helped the run rate somewhat. Carrick to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1.5 and over. Carrick at the start of his run-up. Hit straight to a fielder. McMillan is now facing. Long hop and dispatch for 4. McMillan has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. 35 runs required. Carrick continues. We're about to see a change in the bowling. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1 and over. He's worked that into the gap. New Zealand move on to 193. Adams waiting at the striker's end. Glance down to fine leg. Five. Now for a 94. He looked as if he was home to me. That is an excellent shot by Adams. He picked the length quickly with that one.
He'll be pleased with that one. It came sweetly out of the middle of the bat.
So they need 27 to win from 133 balls. Stopped by Gough. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1 and over. Well taken by Stewart. New Zealand 5 for 200. They have 22 overs to get 26. A long hop and punished. I certainly saw that one early.
Well, that was just a long hop and it got the full treatment.
Yes. 21 runs required. New Zealand 5 for 205. White to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1 and over. He smashed that one right out of the ground. White won't like that at all.
It doesn't really matter if it goes in the air if you hit it that far.
New Zealand 5 for 211. Batsmen are after 2. win from Rockland 23. Wait, Miller. 11 runs wide. Four runs.
Well played. He got into perfect position that shot. Get over the ball. Wait going forward.
That's 14 off the now. The bowler really needs to be tight. It's in the air.
He picked that ball up beautifully. The bowler will have to be careful not to put the ball in that area again.
New Zealand require just 3 runs for victory. McMillan is now on strike. A nice shot, but make boundary. Fielded in the deep by Vaughan. That's the end of the 30th over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1 and over. It's in the air. Crowd were brought to their feet by that shot.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
5. Now for 229. Sum up then, New Zealand win by 5 wickets. Let's take a look at how the innings has gone so far. These are the bowling figures. Carrick has bowled 9 overs, 2 for 71.